In 2020, the Blackember Forge first edition was one of my favorite bags. It was in the top 5 of that year. And now I'm really happy to kind of revisit the Blackember Forge in this second edition of this bag. This video is not only a review or a revisiting of the Blackember Forge, but also I will kind of let this compete against the new Bellroy Travel Lite Backpack, because in a couple of months I will be traveling to Thailand for a Muay Thai camp, and I was considering which bag to take because I will have a check-in bag, but I want to kind of simulate traveling with just one bag. And for that I decided between the Blackember Forge and that Bellroy bag, because the Bellroy is very lightweight, but this one is able to transform into an everyday carry bag because you can kind of compress it or expand it when I will be using this as a carry-on bag. So in this video, not only I will revisit the Blackember Forge 2nd edition, but also I will pack both bags as if I would be traveling to Thailand to kind of see how they will stack up against each other, how I will load them, and then make my final decision on which bag I will take to Thailand. Okay, this video is all about traveling, and before we pack both bags, a quick thank you to Mukama.com who are sponsoring a segment of this video. Introducing the Mukama Gear of the Month. Speaking of traveling, the most important part of traveling is your passport. And this should be carried in style. This is the Nomad Passport Wallet Pen Edition. Inside the slim thermoformed shape that is enclosed in a beautiful Halloween leather, you can store your passport, 4 cards and bills. Moreover, you have this quick access magnetic flap to store your boarding pass. Before you arrive at your destination, you will need to fill out some documents, which is why the integrated pen that is kept in place magnetically comes in handy. This actually makes this a great companion for a small notebook for those occasions when you don't need to carry around your passport, by the way. And in my humble opinion, you should carry this Nomad Passport Wallet Pen Edition as much as possible, because the Halloween leather will create a beautiful patina over time. Get your Nomad Passport Wallet Pen Edition at Mukama.com, a European store for all of your bag and EDC needs. Okay, let's talk about the two competing bags first before I go into all of the specifics of choosing one of the two bags. The first bag is the Blackember Forge version 2. For those of you who have been watching my videos for a while, you might have known that the version 1 was my favorite bag of 2020. That was one of my favorite bags during that time period. So I thought A, it would be a good idea to kind of revisit the Blackember Forge, but B, this bag has a couple of properties and features where I would say this would be perfect as my backpack for this trip to Thailand. And I want to go over, not in detail over both of these bags, but rather tell you why I think this could be a great bag, so the positives, but then also the negatives, why this probably might not be the bag and I would rather choose the other over the other one. So first and foremost, what I really like about this bag is the look. As I said, this is the version 2, and I got this one with the orange compression straps, which I think is a great color combination. Black and orange, that just looks good. And I think that is the one benefit that is not to be kind of pushed away, is the look. Obviously looks are subjective, but if a bag looks good, it's also, at least for me, much more enjoyable to use. Furthermore, this bag is a hybrid in many different ways. First and foremost, you can use it as a backpack, but you can also use it in briefcase mode, and then you can store away the shoulder straps really neatly in this back panel. You can also use it as a messenger if you had the shoulder straps, which I don't have, but I think it's really cool to use this in briefcase mode as well. well. Furthermore, while I am highly considering this, as you can see here, it is compressed and therefore it is compressed down to 20 liters, which makes this a great everyday carry backpack. But you can uncompress it and expand it to 30 liters of capacity, making this the perfect carry-on backpack. And this transformability, let's say it that way, is why I would kind of consider this for this trip. Uncompressed and expanded to 30 liters for the flight to use as a one bag carry-on solution, and then when I arrive, unpack everything, compress it down to 20 liters and make this my everyday carry backpack if I would want to walk around with the backpack. Moreover, what I really like about this has a couple of features that make this very enjoyable to use. First and foremost, as I said, you have the option to use this in briefcase mode, and therefore you have this really cool, great side handles. But you also have a couple of other handles here on this side and on this side as well. So if this bag is in the overhead compartment, it will be very easy to kind of grab hand, pull it out of that overhead compartment. And I would probably kind of stow away the shoulder straps and transform this into briefcase mode. That way, if it's in the overhead compartment, nothing could kind of snag against something and make it difficult to pull out of that overhead compartment. And because there are so many handles, it is easy to pull out the overhead compartment and then carry it like a briefcase. And I really like this a lot. Furthermore, because this is also designed to be used in briefcase mode, the front compartment, organizational compartment, has a couple of really cool slots that are aligned in this direction, which for briefcase mode is horizontal, but once it's in backpack mode, it utilizes the whole vertical space. So everything that is organized in these slots occupy the whole vertical space and just do not slide down to the bottom and accumulate here. For example, if you have a bunch of small items, or I have this Bluetooth keyboard for my Fold 5, this stays in place here at the top and doesn't just slide down, and I really like this feature a lot. So I can store all of my important stuff. For example, here is the global pouch from Pioneer Carry, which I use from an extended EDC and Boo kit, so band-aids, charger and stuff like that. You can see a video in the info tab above. That stores in the front here, not in the main compartment. So even if this would be in the overhead compartment, I can just pull it out a little bit, find whatever I need, and then just close it back down. That is a really cool compartment. More importantly, all of the zippers here have the option to be somewhat locked. I wouldn't call it locked, but it's a really good theft deterrent to prevent someone from just sliding it open. So if I put this in the overhead compartment, I can kind of lock it, and that would kind of deter from these opportunistic pocket thieves where you kind of see, oh, there is a zipper and I have maybe 30 seconds because that person is distracted. I just open it, grab something. And this is a good way to kind of deter someone from doing that quickly, because you kind of have to fiddle around this zipper pull to unlock it and then open up the zipper. So I like that a lot. So that's the front compartment, which I think is amazing. Then going into the first main compartment, and this is why this is also a great bag to use. Clamshell opening, suitcase style. Oh, I still have my Evergoods Cap 2 in here, which I used for work. But if you use it clamshell style, then it is much easier to load and unload all of your items. And because it is somewhat suitcase style, the main compartment here has a dividing wall to keep everything in place. So even if you load all of your clothing without a packing cube, for example, nothing, so your underwear or small items, nothing will just kind of topple out if you open this completely in clamshell style mode. So I really like this, and when you open this up, you have plenty of space, even when it's compressed, to store all of your clothing. So this will be great. Not sure if I will utilize the Blackember compression cubes that I have, or if I just put all of my clothing in here. Here you have also a small little place with a see-through mesh. This probably is great for maybe my electric toothbrush, my razor and stuff like that, to kind of throw it in here. Still visible, really good for TSA if they kind of see in the X-ray, oh, there is the battery, what is that? If you store it in this mesh pocket, if they open it up, they can see, oh, okay, that's a razor or electric toothbrush. On the other side, this is also a great place to kind of organize some of your items. You have these slots to keep everything in place, a bigger slot as well, which could be a good place for either my headphones if they don't fit these mesh pockets, or for example a jacket or sweater that you want to grab quickly but want to kind of store inside the bag. The zippers compartment also great to store small items but you want to keep visible. And then if you close this up, you have a laptop slot. And this is one of the biggest changes from the V1. So one of the changes is the fabric of the Forge. That is completely different than on the version 1. But also on the version 1, the laptop compartment was also a clamshell opening bag where you had a laptop slot and then a couple of 2 other slots for a tablet and whatnot. And in this V2, it's basically just one zipper and then you have a slot where you can store your laptop, your tablet, maybe some documents and stuff like that. So this is a little bit more streamlined. I really like this because in the V1, when you open up the laptop slot, it was unnecessary. I would not need to kind of clamshell open that laptop slot. So I kind of like this improvement of this compartment. I won't carry a laptop, but I probably will carry a different style laptop for my Fold 5, which I will go into in a different video. But this is going to be a vacation, not a work trip. Now, to summarize the benefits. First and foremost, this bag looks amazing, and I think that is really important. At least for me, if a bag looks good, feels good and has good organization, then it's much more enjoyable to use. Secondly, all of the organization, the front compartment in particular, is amazing to store everything and still have a good opening to get to all of your items very easily. Lots of security features where you can kind of lock the zipper pulls to prevent from those opportunistic pickpockets. Being able to utilize the side handle and use this as a briefcase bag, great. Expandability, so I can use this in carry-on style but also compress it and use it for everyday carry, great. Downside, all of these features, and this being hybrid, meaning you can compress it, expand it, use it in 2 modes, being able to store away the shoulder straps and then utilize these additional side handles for briefcase mode, all of the compartments, all of that adds up. Materials, fabric and therefore weight. This bag empty is much heavier than the one from Bellroy and much heavier than other bags, with carry-on restrictions becoming much more stricter. You kind of need to take that into consideration, and in the end I will obviously weigh both bags when they are fully loaded and then also take that into consideration. But that is definitely the biggest downside of this bag, the weight. Yeah, as I said, once I fully loaded the bag I will kind of see if the weight is that much higher than the allowance. Let's see. So whenever I'm traveling to a different country and I am going to stay there a little bit longer, I do like to prepare a little bit in terms of learning some of the language and at least some important words. And to be honest, I am very terrible with languages. In school I had Latin, I failed. I had French, I failed. And yeah, I basically learned English the best way, A, because I did a high school year in USA, and B, in preparation to learn English, I watched the whole Friends sitcom in English before going to USA. So that's how I basically learned English and practiced it. But probably if I wouldn't have been able to go to a high school year in USA, I probably wouldn't have become that good, or at least this fluent in English as I am now, so I'm really fortunate for that. Anyways, when I'm traveling, I like to have a couple of words prepared and words learned just to kind of integrate myself in the surroundings and be a little bit more respectful towards the people that I'm approaching. Especially since I will be training in the gym, it would be good to know at least a couple of words and get around the city. And as I know from Indonesia, in Indonesia many people, for example in cabs and stuff like that, don't speak English, so having a couple of words always helps. So what I did is I prepared a couple of these little cards and I wrote down a couple of words like hello. Thai, it's savadi krap. I'm sorry if anyone from Thai is kind of laughing at me and I'm butchering your language. I'm still learning, obviously. So what I did is I wrote down the correct spelling, and then at the bottom I kind of wrote it down as I was hearing it from a YouTube video, so I can remember how to pronounce it. Or for example, how are you? Sabaidi mai krap. Thank you. Oh, I know that. Thank you is kup kon krap. Is that correct? Kup kon krap, yeah. So yeah, I think that is a good idea to learn at least a couple of words. You don't need to learn the whole language, but I think knowing a couple of words like thank you, hello, goodbye goes a long way to getting along with people in the country that you're visiting. So yeah, just a small little quick tip. Alright, the next bag, or the competing bag that I'm considering for this trip to Thailand is the Bellroy Lite Travel Pack 30 liters. I think the biggest reason why I consider this as an alternative to the Blackember Forge 30 liter is, as the name implies, it being light in terms of weight. This is so much lighter than the Blackember Forge, and I think, let me superimpose it somewhere up here, but just from my memory, I think that this bag is about 1 kilogram lighter than the Blackember Forge. So that is a significant amount of weight. I just checked on the airline's website that I'm flying with. They have a carry-on limit of 7 kilograms. So 1 kilograms difference is really important. That is not something that you can just kind of neglect. I'm not sure if I will actually hit 7 kilograms of weight with my carry-on, but yeah, just to be sure, as you can see here, I haven't fully packed them yet. I will do that in just a second. Pack both bags, then weigh them, and then kind of see if that is actually something I need to take into consideration. But even if I wouldn't hit the 7 kilo limits, 1 kilograms walking around, or having 1 kilogram extra and then having to walk around the airport with it, is also something that you need to keep in mind. I will be traveling for about 20 hours, and having a backpack on your back for 20 hours, not for 20 hours, but walking around the airport and stuff like that when you were exhausted because you have been in the first flight for 8 hours and then you are again on the flight for a couple of more hours and then you have to walk around the next airport. 1 kilograms is definitely significant and something you need to take into consideration. That is why I was choosing this as an alternative to the Blackember Forge. Now let's go also over the positives and the negatives. This bag is obviously lightweight, but just like any other Bellroy bags, it's also incredibly well made. It has 2 side handles, one top handle, one side handle, and I really like this because this makes it so much easier to maneuver around when you're walking the gangway, for example. If it's crowded, I really don't like to kind of chuck my backpack on my shoulders in fear of hitting someone who's still sitting or is behind me. So I really like to be able to kind of grab this and then kind of maneuver the gangway with the side handle or a top handle, but also to kind of pull it out of the overhead compartment. Having good grab handles, to me at least, is very important, and Bellroy has 2 of them, one at the top, one on the side. Furthermore, you can store away, just like the Blackember Forge, you can store away the shoulder straps here in a little back pocket, which makes this also really good if you want to store it in the overhead compartment, because you can be rest assured that your shoulder strap won't kind of snag on any corners in the overhead compartment and make it unnecessarily complicated to get out your bag. So I like that a lot. You have two front pockets, one here at the top that is somewhat of the brain. This is great to quickly store items that you want to be able to access quickly. I always mention that I like to keep my valuables in a quick access pocket when I'm going through the security check. I personally would not store them in this top pocket because it is not lockable and it is very easy to notice and therefore easy to get to. There is a second one here on the side that is a little bit bigger. I will probably utilize this pocket for quickly storing my essentials. For example, I will have a sling bag. I can chuck that sling bag in here when I'm going through the security check and then take it out. So that pocket here is great for that. This top pocket actually is great for energy bars, for my power bank and stuff like that I want to grab quickly, even if this is in the top overhead compartment. So if this is in the top overhead compartment, I can see this front pocket, open it up, get my energy bar or my power bank, close it up, and I'm done. Then you have, before going into the main compartment, you have a laptop slot here in the back that is padded and suspended, so your laptop will be protected. I'm not sure yet what device I will bring. I will be testing a little device that is great for my Samsung Fold 5, but I might instead go with a tablet, my Samsung S9 FE tablet, just to kind of prevent my Fold 5, which will be my central hub for communication. I want to prevent it from overheating. I had one phone when I was on honeymoon. My phone, I went on honeymoon in the Maldives, and my phone overheated and then broke. That is why I probably want to get my tablet with me if I want to get some entertainment or need to work, and I don't want my Fold 5 to overheat. Now, going to the inside, just like the Blackember Forge, you can open the main compartment kind of suitcase clamshell style, which I do like a lot. On one side you have a mesh see-through to the main compartment that keeps everything in place, so even if you have to open this up on the airport, nothing will just topple out and kind of lay on the floor because you open it up and then maybe your socks roll out. So this is very well protected, or keeps everything very well in place. I haven't decided yet on if I would use packing cubes, because I have just this thought of carry-on weight limitations in mind, and I'm not sure if I want to add a couple of grams for packing cubes. Not sure yet, haven't decided yet. And since both bags kind of have this dividing wall to keep everything in place, I kind of think that I won't need a packing cube. So yeah, that is really cool. And speaking of packing cube, the other side is kind of laid out in a way like a packing cube. So you have one packing cube here at the top and one cube here at the bottom, also with mesh. So this top pocket is great because kind of is not see-through, so you could pack your socks and your underwear in this top pocket, but it's also a great place maybe for your adopt kit and wash items, for example your electric toothbrush and stuff like that. So I probably will utilize this pocket for those adopt kit items and the liquid items, put that in here so I have easy access to that items when I'm going through the security check. And honestly, I don't mind if people see my underwear, so that will probably all go in here. This bottom pocket is great for all of the other loose items like my extended EDC, my headphones and stuff like that. That could fit perfectly in here. So I really like the organization of this bag. Now, those were all of the positives. Going into the negatives, just like on the Forge. I think the negatives of this is and this is very shallow and very subjective, I think this looks a little bit boring. On one hand, you could argue that a bag that doesn't kind of grab too much attention from other people, meaning pickpockets for example, is great because it doesn't scream like expensive, or it looks high quality, but it doesn't pull a lot of attention to it, and therefore you probably are protected from anyone kind of grabbing it and running away or whatever. It is still very boring, and as I said on the Blackember Forge, I kind of want a bag to look good and to have cool features to kind of make it more fun to use. And to me, this bag just looks very plain and, dare I say it, a little bit boring. But some people like this, and I think there are a lot of benefits of having a bag looking a little bit plain. But just to kind of summarize the negatives, I think I need to say that about this bag. Then all of these zippers, while the main compartment you can kind of lock it with a lock or kind of knot them together to prevent people from pickpocketing in, all of the other zippers, they only have one zipper pull and no way to kind of lock them, just like on the Forge. And that is definitely something that I'm worrying about. For example, if this is in the overhead compartment, as I said, this front pocket here is a great place to quickly access your items. But imagine if I'm sleeping and someone is rummaging around in the overhead compartment because he or she wants to get to their bag. They potentially have a very easy time to just open up my quick access pocket and then just grab whatever they want. And that is something that I always kind of, in air quotes, preach, is you need to keep in mind it's not always about pickpocketing, but it's sometimes also about getting rid of stuff. So there are some instances, I remember this news story in Bali where someone put some items into the bag of someone else and that person got in jail. Not sure if it's a true story, but I can see that happening. Imagine you have some items. For the sake of YouTube monetization, I'm not going to say what items, but you can imagine some illegal items and you are, or that person is going through the security check and then just notice, oh no, I might get caught for that. Then they would take that item and put it into your bag just to be safe, so they won't get caught. And having pockets that are very easily accessible, for example, like I don't like bottle compartments, outside bottle compartments. Those are really easy to just chuck in stuff from behind. So I don't like having pockets that exposed and not being able to lock them. You have lashing points on here, to be fair, so you could use a lock to kind of lock this, but this is just like a band that you can cut or pry open or whatever. So it is a deterrent to some degree, but you would need some extra tools to make these lockable. But this only works on this top one. This side one here on the side, still you cannot lock this, and this is very easily to get to. So that is, in my humble opinion, a big downside for a travel bag. And I realized that maybe I'm worrying too much about pickpocketing or someone putting something in my bag. But still, if this is supposed to be a travel bag, you could assume that you might go to a country where it isn't that safe. So having pockets here that are so easily accessible is still something that you should keep in mind and that you should worry about. And not being able to somewhat lock them, at least a little bit, is worrying to me, and that is the biggest downside of this bag in my humble opinion. Other than that, I think this bag is a very good competition to the Blackember Forge, and I'm really looking forward to now pack both bags up and then weigh them and then make my final decision. Okay, I actually plan to do this little packing segment of the video in this room. This is basically our guest room, but it is way too full to kind of create this top-down shot. So I'm just gonna grab all of my stuff and then lay everything out in my office and start packing the two bags. So I'm just going to put everything here on the ground and prepare it for kind of overview, but also I will also kind of ranger roll all of my shirts. You can check out a small little tutorial video about how to ranger roll on my channel. I will link it up here. Alright, so I now laid out all of the items that I believe I should pack for one bag traveling if I would be only traveling with this one bag for about a week. As I said, I will have a check-in bag, but I kind of want to simulate if I would be traveling with just this one bag. And first I will try to load the Blackember Forge, and this is basically everything that I believe this could give me and you a good overview of what fits inside and give me a better evaluation which of the two bags, Blackember Forge or the Bellroy Lite Travel Pack 30 liters, which of those two bags will be better suited for this use case. As mentioned, I only try to pack as if I would be using this only, but I will have some of the items also in my check-in bag, and I kind of anticipate that I will be washing clothing during my time. So what I did is I packed 3 shirts, 6 pairs of underwear just to be safe, because once I will be training and then I will switch out, I probably will need 2 pairs of underwear just for a day, because one I wear during training, then that is all sweaty, and then I change to a fresh one obviously. So I rather, in terms of underwear, I rather have a little bit more. Same with socks. I have 6 pairs of socks. I will probably predominantly walk in flip-flops, but if I will be walking a longer period of times, I will have some sneakers on, and inside my sneakers I will wear some socks. Then I have 2 pairs of shorts, which in combination with the long pants that I will be wearing on the flight gives me plenty of options to switch out my look. But I opted for toned down colors, basically black and gray. Usually, as you maybe have noticed in many of my videos, I like to wear a little bit more colorful clothing, but in this case, just to keep it as simple as possible, I stayed to toned down colors. Then I have a long sleeve, that is all of my training clothing. Then some clothing to sleep in, that is also really important. A button-up shirt if I kind of want to go to a fancy restaurant or whatever. An eye mask for the flight, a gravel blanket if I get a little bit cold, but also this is also great if I'm at the location and I feel like the blankets that they provide to me aren't enough. Then a retro gaming device. This is the Anbunic RG40V. I will probably go with the RG35XX Plus because it's a little bit smaller, but I just wanted to lay it out here. The Shargeek Storm 2 power bank, because I feel like this is a great combination of capacity, numbers of outputs, but also in terms of size and weight. This is not too big, not too heavy, so perfect for that. USB-C cable, travel adapter. This is from Tessan, a 65 watts GAN charger. What I like about this is not only a travel adapter with multiple different prongs, but also it has USB-A and 2 USB-C outlets, which eliminates the need to kind of plug in a USB adapter charging brick into this. So I can use this as is, as a wall plug. Then I have a leather kind of pouch, which I will use for my travel itinerary. Yes, I will have everything on my phone, but in my humble opinion, it's good to have everything printed out as a hard copy. Then my headphones, the Sennheiser Momentum Force noise cancelling headphones. This comes in a pretty big case, and I'm currently thinking not to use the case, but just drop in the headphones inside the 2 bags. Then wet toilet paper, disinfectant, wipes for when you need to sit down on a toilet seat. I always disinfect stuff, it's really good. Then a spork if I will be eating either on the plane, if they only have like the plastic cutlery, but also if I'm going for street food. Then a Bluetooth USB keyboard, not necessarily because I want to work, but this is also good to prop up your phone when you want to watch movies. But if I want to kind of script down anything, this is also great for my Fold 5 phone. My extended ED EDC neck pillow, which I probably take everything out and then put some clothing in there, which I thought was a great travel hack that I saw. And the air dop kit, which will carry my electric toothbrush and some of the bottles that I will carry. But I will probably put all of the liquids in a Ziploc bag, but that is just a good placeholder. Now let's start packing. Let's start with the front. Extended EDC, because I will need to grab this quickly, or I want to grab it quickly, because this will probably hold everything that I will need on my seat when this bag is in the overhead compartment. I'm not sure yet. This will fit underneath the seat in front of me, but I'm not sure if I want to do that, but rather have some leg room. Not sure. I haven't decided yet, but if this would be in the overhead compartment, I can take this out, have everything that I need at my seat, but not get into the risk missing this, because this is A, big enough, and B, if everything is inside here, I won't lose anything on the seat. Then, because there are so many great slots in the Forge, I can put the power bank in one of these slots, which is amazing. So like that. Then put the cables in here as well, the power brick there. Put this in this top slots. Spork, kind of throw it in. I'm kind of worried if I can actually take this on the plane, because this is some pointy stuff, but I will do it anyways. Put that in here, drop that in here as well. I really think that I will probably not bother in carrying this case, but just drop in the headphones like this. Yeah, I think that is good to go. This probably will go into my sling bag, but yeah, let's keep it outside first. This will go into the laptop slot, which will probably also hold my tablet. Here's the Samsung Tab S9 tablet. Let's put that in here as well. So because obviously I want to check out the weight afterwards. Let's open this up. And at the moment I believe I do not need to expand this bag. But here, maybe I'm mistaken, but let's see. I have one packing cube from Blackember, as mentioned in the segment with the Bellroy bag. I'm not too sure if I actually want to use packing cubes with either of the bags, just because I fear that this could add up significant weight, or weight that I could save, especially because I can kind of divide this whole bag and keep everything secure. But let's use this Bellroy packing cube for these smaller items, just to be sure that nothing kind of rolls around willy-nilly. But maybe I shouldn't use the packing cube for these smaller items, because these smaller items obviously will be very easy to kind of store in the nooks and crannies of this compartment. So like that, and then put these in here. But I already can tell I might need to expand the bag, because this already, yeah, I can fit everything kind of in here, but I feel like it will get a little bit cramped. So now I have, say, the most important pieces of clothing in here, and I could close it up and then I would be fine, but I will need my gym clothes, and the bottom up and the dop kit is still not in here. Yeah, I probably need to expand this bag now. Let's expand it real quick, because obviously now not expanded, this has a capacity of 20 liters and not 30 liters like the Bellroy one. So to keep the playing field level, let's expand this. So this zipper, bam, and pull it up. Okay, this gives me a little bit more room. So t-shirts like that. Let's go with the gym clothes. Hand wraps fit pretty neatly in here. And obviously this is a test run, right? So as you can see here, I'm not doing a very good job at putting everything in here neatly. I guess if I would kind of fold up everything a little bit better, then I don't think I would have less issues. So, okay, that's the clothing. That's good. That's not too bad. Wow. Why did I say it like Owen Wilson? Wow. Clothing is in the main compartment. I have plenty of storage here in this place to kind of organize stuff. Let's see. I will have some issues getting in the other items. Oh no. Maybe. As I said, I have this little hack where I want to put some clothing in this. Maybe I put my gym clothes into this and get some space in here. But honestly, I fit a lot of items in here right now, and I'm not surprised that gets a little bit crowded and I cannot put this air dop kit in here. But let's close this up. Oh, man, a little bit confused. Let's open up this again. One more downside about this bag is there are so many zippers that sometimes it's a little bit confusing. I just grabbed by accident the zipper for the expansion and not for the main compartment. Spam. So close this up. And then let's see if I can use the compression straps to kind of make it a little bit more neat. All right, so that looks massive. Yeah, this will not fit underneath my seat, I believe. This is fairly big. Let me just get a measuring tape just to be sure. If this is fully packed like this, it is about 28 centimeters. And according to the airlines, I am allowed to have a carry-on bag 50 times 37 times 25. Well, this is 27 and I'm allowed to have a bag that is 25 centimeters in thickness. So this is definitely hitting the limit of what I'm allowed to or could be allowed to carry on. So yeah, this is hard. Let's weigh it. So moment of truth. Let's use the digital scale. This ain't good. This is 8.69 kilograms. I'm way over what I will be allowed to carry as a carry-on bag. So, damn, not good. Obviously, I could take out a couple of items before I let them weigh them. For example, the headphones. I could just wear the headphones. But let's unpack this and put this directly into the Bellroy bag. Alright, so I will just unpack from here straight into the Bellroy. And man, just seeing how heavy the Forge is with everything loaded. I will definitely need to shave off a couple of these items. And you could argue why not put all of the gym clothes into the check-in bag. But I kind of want to treat this, as I said, as if I would be traveling with just this one bag. And for the case that my check-in bag get lost, then I will still be able to train. So let's go over this first. So I would say that my headphones probably will go into this front compartment. So extended EDC, let's put that into the brain and put the headphones will go in there in just a second. Let's put these items also into the brain. So like that. Put the charging items. Also, you could probably argue why put the travel adapter in here, but I probably will need to charge the power bank when I'm staying at an airport because I will be on the road for 20 hours. So I will just want to make sure that I can top off the power bank whenever possible. Put the headphones in this front compartment. Zip that up. And then put keyboard there. As I said, that's a good place for items that I might need to kind of grab quickly. Eye mask, also perfect place for that. Zipper. Now going into the clothing section. Take everything out from here so I can basically pack it more or less the same way. So start with this cube. I really like this Blackember cube because it is really lightweight and keeps everything basically in check. Here my shorts, shirts that I Ranger rolled, my wrist guards, and then no, the button up again. This is not very neat, I know that. And if I would pack neatlier, then it would be much better. What I kind of don't like, or notice at the moment, if this side is full, it does pull this bag a little bit to that side and makes, see that, a little bit difficult to load this side, but not that big of a deal actually. So, alright, so clothing is all in here. I might have forgotten my tablet and my travel itinerary. Okay, see that? Now in this case I believe I have enough space even to put the DOP kit in, which would be amazing actually. Holy shit, it is possible to put in that DOP kit. Put my tablet and my travel itinerary in the laptop sleeve. Wow. Why do I sound like Owen Wilson in my head at least? Wow. I put everything in here. Travel blanket is still missing. We'll try to find a different place for that, but it does fit everything in here, even much easier than into the Blackember, which surprised me a lot. And now the moment of truth, the weight. 7.75. So only 750 grams heavier than what I'm allowed, and I believe I can easily shave off those 700 grams off this bag. Let me just see the depth of this bag. A little bit over 25 because it kind of bulks up in that direction, but I think I could still manage to get this through. And wow, I did not expect that I could get more into this bag, meaning the air DOP kit fits in here quite well, and it feels like I think I still got room to spare actually. And that just goes to show the Forge, as mentioned in my downside or in the negative segment of this, because this is a hybrid bag and therefore you have the option to expand it, and moreover this having so many features and compartments, this adds not only weight but also complications, because I guess some of the fabrics that you need to make these extra compartments, for example this extra slot, just adds up to the complication and therefore gets into each other's way, I assume, and therefore you cannot fit the air DOP kit in here, but you can put it in here. And just seeing how much heavier this is, I feel like I now got my answer. Alright, so this video has been much longer than I anticipated. Before I go into the verdict, I would love to know from you, what do you think about these much longer videos that I have been doing lately? I think like the 20 to 30 minute mark is okay to some degree, because these vlog style videos, or this wasn't vlog style, but the other videos that are vlog style, I kind of think that it is okay that they are longer, because I kind of want to be a little bit more off the cuff and be a little bit more, let's say, casual in an entertaining way in those videos, so you kind of enjoy them even if you are not interested in the product itself or in the review of the product itself, and kind of are interested in seeing a couple of other items as well. But this video obviously got much longer than I planned. So what do you think about these longer videos? Is this okay? I mean, I have chapter markers in the videos. I hope that was easy to jump around. Let me know in the comment section below. So what's my verdict and which bag will I choose? I think in the last segment you already heard a little bit that I really like the Bellroy Lite Travel Pack 30 liters. I think the bag is amazing, and the weight difference of almost 1 kilogram is pretty significant if you need to take into consideration the weight limits of a carry-on bag of the airline that you're flying with. And because I am only allowed to carry 7 kilograms, yeah, I definitely need to use the Bellroy bag for this vacation. More importantly, even if the weight limit would be higher, I think having 1 kilograms extra because the weight is 1 kilograms heavier when it's empty, it is very significant in terms of having to walk a lot, because you probably will need to walk on the airport quite a bit. Maybe your flight is delayed and you have to run from one gate to another. Then 1 kilogram kilograms extra can be very significant on your shoulders when you have to run over the airport. So that is another reason why I will go with the Bellroy. That being said, the Blackember Forge looks so much better, and I really like all of the features, especially the front compartment. And I think if I would be traveling by train, if there wouldn't be any limitations on weight, then I probably would have gone with the Blackember Forge, because I still believe that is an amazing bag, and because it is a hybrid bag that you can transform, it is in my humble opinion, a much better investment, because you will be able not only to use it as a travel bag, but also compress it down and then use it for work and your everyday carry. Because with that in mind, when you use it for everyday carry, I do not think that the empty weight is that important, because you will obviously, if you use it every day, you will not load it up to the full brim and therefore make it unnecessarily heavy. So having that bag be a hybrid is the better investment in my humble opinion, because you can use it all of the time. And since it looks that amazing, at least to my eyes, I think it is a great bag for everyday carry, but also if you transform it in briefcase mode for important meetings. And I really like the look and the features. Again, the weight is a significant trade-off that you have to take if you want a hybrid backpack. But if you are looking for a more lightweight bag, the Bellroy is amazing. It is incredible how lightweight it is, and having those internal packing cubes, the one at the top that is not see-through, then the one at the bottom for, let's say, tech items, then opening up clamshell style, having all of your clothing really securely in the right pocket. Then when you close it up, have the brain at the top for all of the quick access stuff, then another pocket at the bottom. That is amazing. I'm really looking forward to see how comfortable it will be when walking around the airport. I will kind of give you an update if I do these little vlogs on my vacation, so don't forget to subscribe, obviously. All of those pockets are amazing. The only downside is that some of the pockets, especially the quick access brain pocket in the front, those are not lockable. That is a little bit worrying to me, but I also already bought a little TSA lock with a cable that I will kind of, fiddle around that to make it at least difficult for those opportunistic pickpockets to not just open up that pocket. But other than the pockets not being lockable, their look being a little bit bland or boring in my eyes, I don't think there are any more negatives about that bag. So that is why I will choose the Bellroy bag for this vacation to Thailand in a couple of months. So what do you think about both of these bags? Would you go with the Blackember Forge, although it is a little bit heavier, or not a little bit, it's heavier by 1 kilogram, but it looks much better, has a little bit more organization, and more importantly, would be a better investment because you can kind of compress it to 20 liters so that you can use it for every day? Or would you go with the Bellroy bag because it's much more lightweight? Let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget, if you want to get any of the items that I mentioned in this video and you want to support this channel, check out the affiliate links down below. With those you won't pay more, but you will support the channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you like carry-on bags, maybe check out the video up here. And YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss all of the videos that I will be making in Thailand by subscribing with the button up here. Alright, that was a long video. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next videos. Thank you very much.